so I think it lasted 5 days. And you ate a lot of the meat? No, I don't like meat very much. So, all of the others that ate? Yes, the little one ate a lot of the meat. So, how did she know about the people getting killed? I believe she saw everything, all of the procedures. Okay, so you ate the parts of the girls. Which parts did you eat? Normal pieces, like liver, and normal parts of the body. Did you eat her heart as well? No, none of the times. Are you sure? Yes. Didn't you have remorse by doing that? Yes. But you ate either way. So, you used that meat to make the pies, didn't you? At this time, I was selling peanuts. But you were also selling pies at that time, weren't you? Yes, but I was selling peanuts. But Bruna said you used the meat to make the pies.
That was a lie. Bruna did not say that. He told her that to make her speak.
But these were made for our home. So for you to eat? Yes. And how would you differentiate the ones you would sell from the ones you would eat? Because I was selling peanuts. That's a lie. You were selling pies. I saw you selling pies here. I know, I sold to you once, I think. So, you used her meat as filling for the pies, right? Yes, I used it. Okay, and you did the pie? Yes. And sold them? Yes. So why don't you confess then? But I sell peanuts. Yes, you sell peanuts, you sell coconut candy, and you sell pies. And you made the filling with the girl's meat, and made other people eat it. So why don't you fucking confess?
As she remained silent, the female interrogator left the room. The other interrogator then continued.
Tell me something. The pies you sold here, they were made with the meat of which? Alexandra?
Yes.
And where else did you sell those pies?
Everywhere, even at the hospital, but it was only that time, the rest was peanuts. And I used only a little of meat, it was more sauce.
After that, I went to the bathroom and vomited. I remembered the pieces of meat that there were in the pies. Now I wanted to kill that woman. It was clear for me now, that they were 3 cold-blooded killers. They lured 2 other women and killed them, in the same way. The first one to die was Jessica in 2008. She was living on the streets, and they lured her, killed her, and took her daughter. Then 2 more had died that year. As the population became aware of the case, and the press started reporting on it, the population got angry and burned their house down. All of them refused to go outside, since there was a constant angry mob at the door of the police station. The one person that showed us where the bodies were, was the kid. We had to take the little girl there, and she pointed where in the yard were the corpses. An investigation was opened on George, and they found a very disturbed thing. George graduated in physical education, and was by no means illiterate. He was under license, since he was having alleged problems with schizophrenia. They also found one thing, a book, in which he wrote about a lot of things. The book was to be a fictional work, but it seemed like it was not fictional since it described a very disturbing scene. The following texts were taken straight from his book. Notice that he changed their names, Isabel to Belle and Bruna to Christina. We returned to live in Olinda, Pernambuco. With the economy we had, we managed to buy a house there. It was a simple neighborhood of the city. Christina had returned to live with us. I made a small living room, and there I had coffee every morning with Belle and Christina. I stopped attending psychiatric clinics, and taking medication. Happy days. But we began to receive visits from a teenager, very beautiful, but strange. She came mysteriously, played in the yard, and smoked a lot. The days went by. I, Belle, and especially Christina, could not stand the visits of this adolescent anymore. Shadows were with her, sinister laughter was emitted by her, she was the evil itself. As head of the family, I had a duty to destroy her. One day, I took advantage of the fact that the evil teenager was not there, and I planned with Belle and Christina a way to destroy her. We concluded, kill it, divide it and bury it. Every part of it in a different place. It was a night of heavy rain, lightning and thunder. The evil creature was in a room of the house. I looked at Belle and Christina. That night was the right moment to destroy the evil. Arriving at the door of the bedroom, I got to see through the crack of the door the damn, beautiful, but exotic. When I opened the door, it creaked, and before the evil teenager had the chance to react, I immobilized her. Christina also entered the room to help me, while Belle runs into the kitchen, returning later with a knife. The screams of the adolescent evil are muffled by thunder. I took the knife and gave a strong and precise stroke, striking its jugular. The blood sprayed. At the same time I felt a hot liquid dripping down between my legs, wetting my feet. I realized then that she urinated. She slowly unfolds in my arms. Then I let her fragile, slender body fall, making a deep sound as it hit the ground. I see that body on the floor. Christina suspects that she is still alive. I take a rope, make a gallows, and place it on the neck of the body. I drag her myself into the bathroom and turn on the shower for the rest of the blood to flow down the drain. As I look at the already dead body of the evil teenager, I feel a relief. I took a sheet and began to remove all of its skin, and soon after, I divided it. I, Belle and Christina fed on the flesh of evil, as if it were a purification ritual. The rest I buried in our backyard, each part in a different place. The police found this book, because in 2011 he tried to publish it as a book named, Revelations of a Schizophrenic. At this point, they interrogated George again, and this time, he spoke.
So, George, we found your book.
I see.
It's really well written.
Thank you.
So, in it, is this girl you mentioned Jessica?
Yes, but I didn't do it. I don't remember doing it.
You don't remember, but you did it.
Yes.
So, this is all real?
Yes.
How come don't you remember then?
I have flashes. I never killed anyone. I always respected life.
I see. Then it was as described here?
The voices, they made me do it.
Voices?
Yes, from the cartel.
Cartel? As in, drug cartel?
No, the voices.
So, you did the same to the other two girls?
I have, but I don't remember. I'm speaking the truth.
And why eat their meat? Why chop them in pieces?
It's the four elements in the fifth element. Water and earth are the legs, air and fire that are the arms, and the fifth element that is God. It's a purification system, that the voices tell me.
And what does it have to do with the killing?
To bring each part, and each part be blessed.
Did you felt any pleasure while doing it?
No, I felt pain and sadness.
Why did you eat their meat?
It was a purification system.
Tell me more about the cartel.
They are the voices.
Who are they?
The interrogator stopped there, noticing he wouldn't talk anymore. Other things happened then. It was noticed by the psychological evaluation that all of them were very cold, and that George wasn't as insane as he wanted to look like. Another search was made in what was left of the house, and many Kindles were found. A notebook was also found, Bruna's diary. In it, she detailed all of the murders, as well as her everyday life with Isabel and George. She detailed times that George would also disappear by days, and reappear. Some papers written in English were also found in the house. They were handwritten, but also burnt, so there was no way of reading that. George's brother looked for the police, saying he was being threatened by someone. He was offered police protection on the next day, but he refused. He did not say why. Both Isabel and Bruno were giving mixed answers about the cartel. They said that they did not know about it, or never heard about it. Which was definitely a lie. Also, butchering a human being is not an easy task, and we were starting to suspicious that someone taught him how to do it. In the middle of the investigation, we received a higher-up order. The case was closed, as they had more than enough. To me, that was bullshit. In the end, you can believe in the official story or on my theory. The official story says he is just a crazy psycho. My theory is that there is a kind of cult out there. We don't know about it, and there are people hiding it from us. I don't even think it's a Brazilian thing. Think about how many people disappear around the world every day. It's not a stretch of the imagination thinking that there is something like that out there. Either way, I asked to be transferred soon after. Stay safe. This story was told to us by an interview with one of the cops involved in all of this. What you just heard is very real. More information was added along the story to complement it, but the interviews are all transcripts of real audio. This must be the first time I share this story, which runs in my family for generations. I am afraid that they will discover me, because it is a mystery and in a way, a shame. I come from a traditional family. Sharing our legends and mysteries with strangers is as shameful as being imprisoned or failing to maintain a lasting relationship. Well, straight to the point. My great-great-grandmother was an Indian named Bonnie. They say that she got lost and was welcomed by my great-great-grandfather's family. At that time, he was still a young man. They fell in love, married and built their house, a wooden hut on the same grounds as the family. They helped in the church and worked the land for their livelihood. The town they were in was very small, had about 600 people. It was the beginning of the 20th century, and even after almost 20 years of marriage, they had no children. It was about that time, I believe, in the year of 1910, when the children appeared. I do not know how the facts took place officially. The legend says that during a terrible storm, those that you cannot see nothing but a monstrous torrent of rain, they appeared after a huge bang that could be heard from the whole town. The noise was so great that whole town awoke. It was as if a lightning bolt had fallen in the middle of the city, yet there was no light, only a bang and earthquakes. The priest of the city almost had a heart attack, because the intensity of the sound was greater next to his residence, that was adjacent to the church of the city and a small cemetery. Armed with a lamp, a shotgun, and an umbrella, the old priest faced the fear and the rain in search of the unknown. Opening the old iron gates of the cemetery, he found the source of the great crash. The poor priest almost smudged his trousers as he noticed the appearance of a sinkhole in the middle of the cemetery ground. Tombs, skeletons, and coffins mingled with the mud that turned the crater into a deep pool. Around there he heard a weak cry. It came from an old rotting wooden crate, similar to an improvised casket, which was thrown in a corner, half covered with mud. He lit the cracks and could see small shiny eyes. With a lot of effort, as everything was filled with mud, the old priest opened the crate. He immediately saw that this rotten box housed two filthy children who should not have more than 5 or 6 years of age. He welcomed them and protected them during the night. After the storm, came the calm, and with the first lights of the sun, all the population of that small city went to the priest to check the damage of the storm. It was then that he introduced them to the children. Everyone, including my great-great-grandfather and his wife, were shocked by the children's appearance. They were small, dressed in robes of the altarpieces borrowed by the father. They were clean because the good old man had taken care of it and tried to feed them, but they refused to eat or drink anything. The sink, the